Alright, last week we went down to Costco to pick up some potting soil, and on the way down there I stopped at Home Depot and I actually picked up one of these 2300 PSI 1.2 gallon per minute Ryobi electric pressure washers. I've got that big old gas one that's really a beast to get started, and it just wastes a lot of water, it uses a ton of water, and it's just too high a pressure for most of the things that I want to use this one for. So I decided to try one of these, and I figured I'd get it at Home Depot in case, it doesn't work out or anything. But this is just open up the box right now, and you can see it all comes pretty much assembled, ready to go. There's a hose in there and a wand, and it all looks pretty good quality. The hose is really kind of stiff though. I noticed that's going to have to go, but the only assembly you have to do really is just push some little buttons in there and just snap the handle on, and the power cord's already attached to it and stuff, and the little hanger on the other side for it, and it's got a GFI plug right on it, and a place to hang the hose back there. And the hose itself, the wand looks pretty good. It's all brass fittings and the 22 millimeter connectors and stuff. So it's all standard. So you can put different accessories on it from other manufacturers and stuff. But all you have to do with that is just screw the two pieces together. Just goes right on there, nice and easy. All the fittings are really high quality. And it does feel pretty nice in your hand. Now this hose is extremely stiff and just doesn't want to move, so I'm sure I'll be replacing that in the future, but for now, I'm going to use it because that's what it came with. And same thing, 22 millimeter fittings there, so it just screws right on there easily, and the water input attaches right above that. And then the same thing, you just have to remove the plastic plugs off the handle there, and just screw the hose on, and that's basically your whole assembly there. It does come with a bag with a couple nozzles in it, and it comes with a turbo nozzle, a soap nozzle, that plastic thing is, and this one's like a 15-degree rinsing nozzle. So that's what it looks like, and it does have a 1 gallon tank for soap down in the bottom there, and I plan on using this to wash the house with and stuff too, so that's really going to be helpful. But basically it's light enough you can pick it up, and I went to hook it up to the hose, and I pulled out our old expandable hose, and darn thing blew up on me when I hooked it up, turned the water on, so I had to get out a big old hose. Then they tell you to let the water run until the air stops coming out when you start it up. And I let it run for, quite a while until there were no more bubbles or air or anything like that. And turned it on. And it didn't work quite right. Well, there's that turbo nozzle. That actually lasted less than 5 minutes. I'll show you that in a little while. But the unit kept cutting in and out. It was like the switching between the high and the low pressure while you're trying to use it. It was like something was wrong with the switch or something like that. And I'll show you. It'll run along, and it'll work good for a couple minutes or a couple seconds there. And that turbo nozzle, and then all of a sudden it'll just go to low pressure. And the thing's still running, and you hear it kick down. So I just kept turning it on and off, and I figured there might have been something wrong with it. But I played with it for a while and turned it on and off a bunch of times, and it kept happening. Then all of a sudden it just stopped. So it must have just been something in the switch between the high and the low pressure that needed to wear in or something like that. But I got it from Home Depot, so if there is a problem in the future, I can always bring it back. Plus, it has a 3-year warranty. So that, right off the start, that there was kind of annoying because it only would work for a little while and then stop, but that did go away. And you can see it does do when it's working, it does a nice job on the bricks and stuff, but then there it went down again. But that did go away, and I was able to start using it. And one of the things I wanted to do was clean up this brick patio. So it looks like it's going to work good on that. And the thing I noticed about this, it really does not use that much water compared to like trying to use a hose to rinse things off and stuff. It's really is nice, and it doesn't really have a lot of pressure. It's kind of like those car wash wands that you use at the car washes. But it does do a nice job. You can see these bricks are all kind of moldy and dirty and stuff, so I'll be cleaning them up. But another big project I've got going is this deck in the front of our house on the front porch. I promised my wife I was going to replace the decking on it this year, actually. And, well, that was last year. I told her I'll do it next year. But turned out I looked at the price of replacing the decking boards. I was going to go with that, the composite type stuff. And the price of them is just nuts this year. So I figure I'm just going to try to get this old paint off of it. And this is with that turbo nozzle. And you can see that that turbo nozzle is absolutely not moving anymore. It's just kind of, it's just one stream coming out now. So the thing is shot already. It took about 5 minutes. So that's something I'll get a hold of Ryobi and see if they'll give me a new one, or if I have to take the whole unit back. But this is just playing with the turbo nozzle, and it is going to take the paint off through the heavy layer of paint and a heavy layer of primer under it, and then another layer of like a stain or something. So this will do it. It's not damaging the actual wood surface itself. My gas one actually would destroy the wood if you try cleaning it like this with it. There's no way to do it. So then I went to a 0-degree nozzle I had, and that really did start taking it off. So I'm just going to remove all the paint first using this, and it looks like it's actually going to do what I want. And then I'll go back and I'll get some deck cleaner and stuff and try to clean it up and make it last another couple of years. And hopefully the price of decking and stuff will come down. Lumber is just nuts this year. So there you can see I played with it for a couple minutes, and it's really doing a good job. It looks like it's going to take all the paint off, but that nozzle there is junk. And then I ordered a foam cannon on Amazon. I actually bought the cheapest one they had, and it came with some nozzles there, and that was that 0-degree nozzle I was using. I've never used one of these before, but I wanted to try to use this for the cars to be able to do quick washes. And I bought some Mr. Pink it had a good rating on Amazon. And it's supposed to work with the electric pressure washer, and this is my first time ever trying to use one of these things. So you'll notice I don't know what I'm doing here. It's just it's a cheap foam cannon, but I've never used one, so it's going to take me a while here before I start to get a halfway decent layer of foam coming out of it. And I really wanted this because it's a real pain. It takes a lot of time to wash your car, and it really wastes a lot of water when you're using the hose. And this here pretty much is it should be a 5-minute job. Just hook it up to the hose and plug it in, and put this foam cannon on. And once I do get it figured out here, you can see it's got all different patterns you can play with and amounts of foam and stuff. And there, I'm starting to get it dialed in a little bit now. But I just figured it's going to be good for quick rinses of the cars and stuff, because it takes us a lot of time, and we don't feel like doing it much anymore, so this will really help us. So you can see, it takes about 5 minutes actually. It took me to do the whole car to wash it and rinse it. And the hose is a little bit short on this thing, so I'm going to have to get a longer one. But this foaming car wash is something new for me. I've never really used it before, and the cars are pretty dirty. This car was hadn't been washed in quite a while, probably since last fall. Didn't get a lot of use though in the snow or anything, so it was just full of dust and stuff. And that car wash did do a halfway decent job on it. It's definitely not the same as a hand wash job with a big sponge and stuff, but it'll do for now. and it will really, save it just cleaning them up quick. And the good thing is, I think that's a 40-degree nozzle I've got on there now, or 35. And it doesn't have enough, it just has enough pressure to rinse it off, and it doesn't hurt the car or anything. So you can see there's no puddles of water under the car or anything. It just doesn't use that much water compared to what a hose takes. So, that's going to be a really good thing too. So the older I get, the lazier I get, and things like this really help save time. And I figured, well, I might as well make it a full touchless. I didn't feel like getting out the chamois today, and got out the leaf blower and just tried to blow it off the best that I could. So I'm real happy the way that worked on the pressure washer. I really am. It's not a really good unit, and that may not be the best soap. I'll play with some different soaps, but that's a 11-year-old car there, and it still looks pretty good when you just hit it with that. So I'm happy the way that one came out. And then I said, okay, I'm going to pull out my truck and try that next, because that's going to be the real challenge. That hadn't been washed since back in December, and it's been out all winter. We've been out many times with it, and just loaded with dirt and salt and everything else. So same thing, gonna foam it down here good, and try to get it cleaned up a little bit for now. I know we're still gonna have a lot of nasty weather yet, so I'm not going to do a really fantastic job, but this thing really does seem to be working pretty good. And this truck, we've just been so happy with this truck. It's just been an amazing trouble-free vehicle so far. It goes really good in the snow. No problem. It's super comfortable, and we're really happy with it. But it's it's a lot to keep clean, and this here should, once I get it cleaned up good, once the winter is over and I, do a good hand washing and waxing on it, this thing I'm sure will work good. But for now, you can see I got all that, the heavy grime off, and I was able to go back up under the wheel wells and get all the salt and stuff out, and it definitely uses a lot less water than our hose does. And it's not, like I said, it's not a hand wash job, but this is like just a 5-minute quick touch up. And I'm real happy with the way it's working. So, that was just another project I had for it. And then I have to actually wash the house siding with it this summer, and a bunch of other little things. I got to wash all the railing on the porch and stuff like that. That really, when we were younger, it was easier to take care of. Now we're just looking for the easy way out. We don't want to have to, scrub and brush and stuff. So this looks like it's really going to help out around the house. And, so far I'm happy with it. It is extremely noisy, though. The motor never actually shuts off. It's always running. If you got the trigger pulled, it's working a little harder. And when you don't have the trigger pulled, it's still running at a much slower speed, but it's still fairly noisy, you notice. I mean, you can probably hear it good in the video. So that was another 5-minute touch up, and it did a pretty good job. I mean, the salt is all gone, I think. It's definitely not a hand wash job. But it's good enough for now, I think. Because I'll just be out in the, yucky stuff again before the season is over. So there it is. 5 minutes later, it was, just a quick wash job, and it did do a pretty good job. The wheels could use to be polished and stuff like that, the running board plastic and stuff really needs a good cleaning up and everything, but otherwise, it did a good job, and the only thing I'm not happy with is that nozzle, and, hopefully I can get another one. And once I play with this for a while, I should be able to get the settings down pretty good, and I think that's going to be really helpful. And there you can see that spot I hit dried. And one thing I did notice is that GFI outlet did get really warm when I was using it. I just pulled it out to wrap it up, and that thing was warm. I don't know why. But you can see the the power cord hangs up there on it, and the hose hangs up on the back, and everything's a nice compact unit. And I can use it this time of the year, and then just bring it down in the basement and put it away so it won't freeze. So I'll keep you updated on how it's working out as the summer goes on. You'll see it used in a lot of projects. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe.